What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Benchwarmer Sports. It's been a minute, but we are finally back. We are here, and today is draft day. Finally, after months of having to listen to the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, we have finally gotten to the day to which we're finally going to figure out who the Browns are going to do or going to pick at pick number two. And maybe who knows? Are they going to trade back into the first round to take a quarterback? Are they going to trade down from number two in the earlier or in the later in the first round? So many things are on the table today. We just learned that Greg Newsome and Obo Okoronkwo are also, available for trades today. So could they be on the move as well? Lots and lots and lots of things can go on today that many people have been wondering what would happen. So today in this video, I just wanted to do the ultimate Browns draft day guide. Just give you guys my thoughts about what is going to go on with the Browns tonight in the draft. Just kind of explain, I didn't want to make videos, this off season regurgitating the same things over and over and over again. Because to me personally, and I don't know about how you guys feel, but for me, off-season NFL or the NFL off-season radio and sports media is some of the worst, most boring things ever imaginable, in my opinion, because it's just the same storylines regurgitated over and over and over again. I know you guys probably listen to the sports radio or watch some guys on YouTube besides me, and you guys, I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing, but it's just they have to fill airtime. They have to meet quotas. They don't say anything new or different. It's just, can Travis Hunter be a two-way player? Do you want to listen to Travis Hunter, radio 24/7 about can he be a two-way player? Do you want to listen to Abdul Carter? Do you want to listen to some, all these other guys? So I didn't want to make videos like that. I just wanted to make one or two videos, quality videos for you guys, not regurgitating anything, making 10 videos about the same topic because it's not fair to you guys. It's not fun for you. It's not fun for me. So in this video, I'm just going to give you guys my overall, draft day, predictions, guides, what you guys should be expecting from the Browns in this draft. Okay. So now, without that long ass winded, intro out of the way, what are the Browns going to do in the draft? Well, number 2 overall pick, for the most part, no one knows who the Browns are going to draft in number 2 because the one day it was Shedeur Sanders, the other day it was Cam Ward, one day it was Abdul Carter. Now the overall consensus for like the last week and a half to 2 weeks has been it's going to be Travis Hunter. The Browns really like Travis Hunter. So now expecting tonight at number 2, I am expecting the Browns to take Travis Hunter at number 2. And now I know that a lot of people are kind of upset by this for some reason, even though Travis Hunter is the best overall player in the draft. He is one of the most, athletic players really we've ever seen coming out of college. But a lot of people are kind of upset at this pick because a lot of people are also saying, well, who's going to throw Travis Hunter the ball? Because Andrew Berry said at the draft combine in March that they primarily see Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. And, the whole thing with the Browns is, well, you don't really have a quarterback. I understand we signed Joe Flacco back a couple weeks ago. You have Kenny Pickett as your quarterback, that you traded DTR for in a 5th-round pick. And so a lot of Browns fans are wondering, well, yeah, Travis Hunter's cool and all, but who's going to throw him the football, okay? And a lot of people that I listen to on the radio a lot of Browns fans have been calling in saying that the Browns should take Shedeur Sanders as number 2. Now, I made a video earlier in this, back a couple months ago, saying why I don't think Shedeur Sanders should be taken at number 2, and I personally wanted Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Those are my guys at number 2, or Cam Ward if he was available at number 2. But Shedeur Sanders for me is not a number 2 overall pick. I don't think the Browns should draft a quarterback from in the first round at all. I understand that there's a lot of people who want the Browns to come in back from 33 into the first round, and I think that's a possibility that they could do that in order to take, Shedeur Sanders if he falls that far. But for me, number 2 overall pick, you take Travis Hunter. He's the best player in the draft. I think you take him, you build on your offensive liabilities that you have because keep in mind, guys, The Browns only scored 15 points per game last season. They were dead off. They were god awful. They were god awful on the offensive end. And you're going to add in a guy like Travis Hunter, who's a dynamic playmaker on offense. He's a guy that shows that he is capable of playing larger than his size. He's only 6 feet tall, but he's a guy who can play larger than his size, in a small stature. He's going to be a guy that I think is going to make a lot of good plays and a lot of, plays that make you go, holy shit, how the hell did he make that play? I think he's going to be a primary offensive player in the NFL. And I think they'll sprinkle him in. If there's like dime packages, they'll probably sprinkle him in on the defensive end and probably have him be like the fifth corner. But I just think that Travis Hunter is going to be able to really make an impact with this team on offense in a way that I don't think any other player, coming out of the draft, can possibly do for the Browns. So I am Team Hunter at number 2. And at 33, I definitely, I just feel like there is a wide array of opinions about what the Browns should do with the number 33 pick. Because what I really want people to know, what I want Browns fans to know, because there seems to be a little bit of this disconnect between expectations for quarterbacks versus the reality of the draft class for the quarterbacks in this draft class. Outside of Cam Ward and maybe Shedeur Sanders, there is no quarterback in this draft class who is going to be an immediate impact starter for any team that they play for. And a lot of people are saying, we need to trade and get up, trade in the first round for Shedeur Sanders, and he's going to, he's going to ball out. Or, there's other people who are saying Jackson Dart. And I've seen so many tweets and calls from different Browns fans saying, we have to take a quarterback. We have to take a quarterback. We have to take a quarterback. I'm here to tell you guys right now, no matter who the Browns take, they are not starting. They are not starting this year. They're probably not going to start next year either. Okay? So what you should be looking for as a Browns fan in this draft class is what quarterback prospect in this class that the Browns can take can be a decent backup caliber quarterback. Who's going to be able to, sit for a couple of years, refine their skills, get better at certain things, and, maybe someday they, if your starting quarterback gets hurt, they can come in, play somewhat decently so that, you have a fighting chance to win a game. That's what this quarterback class in this draft is. Okay, so I don't understand why people are getting upset that the Browns are not going to take a quarterback at 2, or even may not take a quarterback at 33. Personally, I don't think the Browns should take a quarterback at 2 or 33. I think even the third round, it might be a little bit of a reach. To me, what Browns fans should be thinking of, this year, this 2025 draft should be looked at as like the 2017 year for the Cleveland Browns. 2017, Browns, there was all this hype about the Browns having the number 1 pick, and it was either draft Myles Garrett at number 1 or draft Mitch Trubisky. And a lot of people wanted Mitch Trubisky. A lot of people, you guys remember 2017, a lot of Browns fans wanted Mitch Trubisky because of that Ohio, connection, the Menor Cardinal connection. A lot of people wanted Mitch Trubisky as the number 1 overall pick because people wanted a quarterback. People wanted a quarterback that would take the reins and just lead the Browns to victory. Well, look at what happened with Mitch Trubisky's career. Look at what happened with Myles Garrett's career. And a lot of people chose Myles, and a lot of people were not happy. I remember 2017. You guys probably remember too. Remember when Myles Garrett was drafted? Not a lot of people were happy. A lot of people wanted Mitch Trubisky, and a lot of people, when we selected Myles Garrett, were not happy because they said the same things that they're saying right now. We need to score points. We don't have a quarterback. We don't really have a running back. We need to score points, and we drafted a defensive end who has, whose criticisms or his weaknesses are that he doesn't give 100% effort. Well, we know how that turned out at the end, but this is what I'm saying to you guys, okay? We have been in this situation before. This is what I want Browns fans to look at this draft. This is not the end all be all. You are not going to find your franchise savior at quarterback in this draft class. And that's what I think a lot of people and Browns fans are not getting. What I think you need to look at for this draft class is what quarterback prospect am I going to get that maybe could be a really decent backup quarterback who I think has a lot of potential. And maybe, who knows, if you don't find your starter and maybe you have a quarterback competition in the future, this guy can come out, he can win this quarterback competition, and he can do some good things with it. So for me, if I would take a quarterback, in this draft, I would take Jalen Milroe. Okay, and I was not a Jalen Milroe fan, but after I changed my perspective and my goals of this draft to what I said before, I think Jalen Milroe is a really solid kind of project that the Browns can work with because athletically he is a freak. He is a freak athletically. He runs a sub 4.40, and if you can have some packages with Jalen Milroe, if you want to run wildcats or quarterback draws or some RPO run plays, you want to have Jalen Milroe out there. You want to try and tackle Jalen Milroe, who runs a 4.40 and who's hard to take down. Good luck, other team. You want to try and do that? That's fine. That's where I'm looking at with this Browns draft class for the quarterbacks. I would take Jalen Milroe in the third round if he's there. I think it might be a little bit hard because I don't think he's going to be there in the third round. I think a lot of teams in this draft are going to probably reach on quarterbacks. I know I just saw a report earlier today that that a lot of teams are expecting Jackson Dart not to fall below the 9th pick, which is just if you're a fan of a team and they take Jackson Dart with their first round pick, Godspeed. I am sorry for your team being really stupid. Okay, I apologize for your team's incompetency, but for me, if I would take a quarterback, if you had to take Jalen Milroe at 33, fine, go ahead. Okay, I'd rather take Omarion Hampton if he's still there, but I would not be mad with Jalen Milroe at 33, and then you get a running back in the third round. If Caleb Johnson is there, one of the Ohio State running backs, I really like the kid from Kansas, Devin Neal. I really like him a lot. But I don't think the Browns fans, at least a certain portion, are really grasping what this draft class is for quarterbacks. We're not going to get our franchise savior in this class. That's why I was team quarterback 2026, and that's when I saw all the rumors that the Browns were going to draft Shedeur Sanders at number 2. I was freaking out, and I was like saying, no, this is not a good idea. But that's what I'm saying with the Browns, with Browns fans. Temper your expectations with quarterback, okay? We're not gonna get our savior in this draft. Now, personally, I think that this draft class, like I said, should be seen as the 2017 draft. This is our rebuilding phase for the rest of the offensive side of the football. I really do believe that Travis Hunter is going to be a franchise cornerstone for the Cleveland Browns if the Browns take him at number 2 tonight. I think he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. I also think that the running back class in this draft is so freaking deep. There's like 10 running backs in this class that you can say are going to be absolutely phenomenal for whatever team they get drafted to. So if the Browns take a running back in the third round, or if they trade up into the second round and they take a running back, I think no matter which running back we get, it's probably going to be a really good running back. This is the year that you are going to stockpile weapons on the offensive side of the ball so that when you get to 2026, when there is a significantly better quarterback class, when you got guys like Nico Iamaleava, you have Lenore Sellers, Arch Manning possibly if he decides to come out, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier. There's 5 guys right there that are significantly better than 99% of the guys coming out in this year's draft, okay? So all I'm saying is do not expect or do not get angry when the Browns do not draft a quarterback high. or if they take a guy that you don't like because he's not going to be good right away, there's no good answer at quarterback this year. Expect the Browns to stockpile on offensive talent in the early rounds and then try and maybe fill out some, depth pieces on defense or on the offensive line. Let's not expect, I'm not expecting home run hitters here. I'm expecting some really solid players after Travis Hunter. I'm just not going to get my hopes up, and I'm trying to temper expectations for Browns fans in this video because I know people are going to be upset when the Browns don't draft a Shedeur Sanders or they don't draft Jackson Dart and they select a guy like Will Howard or Jalen Milroe. I just want to temper your guys' expectations because this is not the year to go after a quarterback. Even Jimmy Haslam said this. He said, we're not going to force the issue at quarterback and number 2. If the owner of the Cleveland Browns is saying that should say everything to Browns fans about what the Browns are going to do in this coming draft. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I will post the reaction to the draft and the picks for the first round tonight. I'll be going out to a restaurant, so I'll post the reaction from the restaurant I'm going to for the Browns pick, and maybe if there's a trade from the Browns that happens, I'll post the reaction there too. But make sure you guys are locked into this channel tonight because we'll be reacting to the Browns pick later on. And yeah, I will see you guys all in another video. Take care.